The Zephyrian council chamber hummed with barely contained hostility as Ambassador Sarah Chen walked through its crystalline doors. Her modest black diplomatic suit seemed almost primitive among the flowing, bioluminescent robes of the alien delegates, but she carried herself with the quiet confidence that had made her Earth's most requested envoy. "The human arrives," hissed Council Prime Vextar, his serpentine form coiled behind the crescent-shaped podium. "How predictable." Sarah smiled politely, placing her briefcase on the designated platform. Around the circular chamber, representatives from 7 species watched her with varying degrees of curiosity and disdain. The Galactic Coalition had been clear. Humanity would be granted provisional membership only if they could prove their worth through these negotiations. What they hadn't mentioned was that most of the Council viewed humans as nothing more than clever animals. "Honored Council," Sarah began, her voice carrying clearly through the chamber's acoustic design. "I come bearing Earth's formal proposal for the Kepler mining rights." A chittering laugh emerged from the insectoid delegate. "The primates think they can compete with civilizations that have mastered faster than light travel for millennia." Sarah's expression never wavered. "We may be new to the stars, but we learn quickly." What the Council didn't know was that Sarah Chen wasn't just a diplomat. Before joining Earth's diplomatic corps, she had been Operative Nightfall, one of humanity's most lethal assets. The transition from assassin to ambassador had been surprisingly smooth. Both professions required reading people, understanding their weaknesses, and striking at precisely the right moment. The negotiations dragged on for hours. Each species presented their case for the mineral-rich asteroid field, their arguments ranging from technological superiority to ancient territorial claims. When Sarah's turn came, she stood calmly and outlined humanity's proposal, a joint operation that would benefit all parties through Earth's unique resource extraction techniques. The Council's response was swift and predictable. "Rejected," Vextar announced. "Your species lacks the sophistication for such an undertaking." But Sarah had expected this. During her years as an operative, she had learned that the most important intelligence often came from what people didn't say. The Council's body language, their quick glances, the way certain delegates deferred to others, it all painted a clear picture. "I understand," she said pleasantly. "Perhaps we could discuss this further over dinner. I'd be honored to host you at my quarters." Several delegates accepted, curiosity overcoming their disdain. After all, what harm could one human do? That night, Sarah prepared her modest diplomatic suite with the same meticulous attention she had once reserved for infiltration missions. The food was carefully selected, human delicacies that would appeal to different alien palates. The seating arrangement was designed to encourage conversation. Everything appeared perfectly innocent. The delegates arrived one by one. Vextar, the insectoid clique commander Zach, and 3 others from the most influential species. They sampled Earth cuisine with polite reservation, while Sarah played the perfect hostess, asking about their cultures and sharing carefully selected stories about human achievements. "Tell me," Sarah said as they settled into the evening. "I noticed some tension during today's proceedings. The mining rights discussion seemed to stir certain emotions." It was Zach who first let something slip, his compound eyes glittering with what might have been amusement. "The rights were decided long before your species even discovered fire, human. This charade is merely diplomatic courtesy." "Ah," Sarah nodded understandingly. "And the real decision-makers?" The conversation flowed like wine, each delegate eager to demonstrate their superiority by revealing how little the formal process actually mattered. Within 2 hours, Sarah had learned everything she needed. The Council was controlled by a shadow organization called the Hegemony. 3 species had formed a secret alliance to divide the resources, and humanity's application was never intended to succeed. More importantly, she learned about the plan to eliminate her. "Such a shame," Vextar mused as the evening wound down. When promising young diplomats meet with accidents during their first assignments, Sarah's smile never faltered. Yes, space can be so dangerous for the inexperienced. The first assassination attempt came 3 days later. A maintenance worker with 2 steady hands and eyes that scanned for threats rather than focusing on his repairs. Sarah had been expecting him for hours. She emerged from her shower to find him standing in her quarters, a plasma cutter in his hands. "Nothing personal, human. Business." I understand completely, Sarah replied, toweling her hair. In one fluid motion, she snapped the towel forward, the weighted corner striking his wrist with surgical precision. The plasma cutter clattered away as she closed the distance, her hand finding the pressure point at the base of his neck. He crumpled without a sound. The second attempt was more sophisticated. Poison in her morning beverage, delivered by a Clickian server whose nervous system couldn't quite hide his anxiety from someone trained to read micro-expressions. Sarah switched cups with a sleight of hand that would have impressed her old instructor, then sat back to watch the server's confusion when she remained perfectly healthy. The third attempt never happened. By then, word was spreading through the station's underworld. Earth's envoy was not what she seemed. Sarah called for an emergency council session. "Honored delegates," she announced, standing once again at the chamber's center. "I've discovered disturbing evidence of corruption within this very council." The chamber erupted in outrage, but Sarah's voice cut through the chaos. "I have recordings, financial transactions, and testimony from 3 different sources." She gestured to her briefcase, which now lay open to reveal advanced recording equipment and encrypted data crystals. These documents prove that the Kepler mining rights were predetermined, that several council members have violated their oaths of impartial judgment, and that there have been active attempts to eliminate Earth's representative. Vextar's serpentine form coiled tighter. Preposterous allegations require extraordinary proof. Agreed. Sarah activated a holographic display that filled the chamber with damning evidence. Secret communications, financial transfers, even video footage of the failed assassination attempts. I believe extraordinary proof should suffice. The revelation that Earth's seemingly naive diplomat had not only survived 3 assassination attempts but had documented the entire conspiracy sent shockwaves through the chamber. When the dust settled, 3 council members had been arrested, the Kepler mining rights had been awarded to humanity, and Earth had gained something far more valuable than mineral access: respect. As Sarah packed her briefcase, Zach approached her with his compound eyes reflecting something that might have been admiration. "You are not what you appeared to be, human." Sarah smiled, the same polite expression she had worn throughout the negotiations. "Few of us are, Commander. That's what makes humanity interesting." She paused at the chamber door, looking back at the assembled delegates. "Oh, and Council Prime? Next time you want to eliminate someone, I'd suggest doing better research on their background. Some humans are surprisingly difficult to kill." Walking through the crystalline doors for the final time, Ambassador Sarah Chen, former operative Nightfall, allowed herself a small smile of satisfaction. Earth's diplomatic corps had gained a foothold among the stars, and the galaxy had learned its first important lesson about humanity: underestimate them at your own peril. The universe was about to discover why humans had fought their way to the top of their planet's food chain, and why they had no intention of occupying any other position among the stars.